Good morning, everyone. Oh, we got quite a bit of sunlight going here. Give me a minute and I'll get this turned around and that'll make your viewing a lot easier. Well, my computer's died. I may have to start this over. Hey, Terry, my computer's acting up now, so give me a minute. It was right there. There it is. I must have closed down. How are you, Terry? Looking forward to maybe catching up with you in Houston later on in March. How many are you driving with from St. Louis area? Okay. Morning, Patricia. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you Pat. I know you don't answer by Pat. Morning, Patricia. Oh, okay. We are just about ready. Okay. We are just about ready. There we go. Yeah, we are. Okay. Good morning, Ian. Nice to have you with us, too. So I'm a little behind here today. I'm always hesitant when I first go on Facebook after a couple of weeks of not being here because you never know what did Facebook do to change things up a little bit. They're always flipping things, almost as bad as Walmart's. Anyhow, all right, we're going to go on ahead and get started. So let me put this down. I'm going to try to get this up as high as I can to show you everything that we're doing. Okay. Get my cord out of the way. I was a little late because I looked at my phone and I'm thinking, whoa, I don't have enough charge on this to do what I want to do. So, okay. All right, so I think we've about got it. Let me pull up here. Oh, you're going to stop at Buc-ee's along the way. They have pretty good barbecue sandwich. Buc-ee's are fun to go through. They have a lot of neat stuff. It's unbelievable how big that thing is. So we're going to do this card today. This is a Shamrock card that I'm doing, and I use shaded spruce and soft seafoam with my basic white. But I'm going to use the Adorning Hearts embossing folder, the hybrid folder. There is so many things that you can do with this folder. And I had a friend reach out and say, can you show us more with the folder? And so even though it's Valentine's is over and done with, we're still going to use it because it can make a creative shamrock using 3 of the hearts. And I'm also going to show you how to use the adhesive dies. If you've never used the adhesive, not dies, adhesive sheets. If you've never used the adhesive sheets are wonderful to have. Now, you're going to get 12 sheets that are 6 by 12. So that's like getting a half a package of DSP. This is going to last you a long time. So don't feel like I have to have 15 of these because, you know, I go through like dimensionals so much. I need more adhesive sheets. It's going to last you a long time, okay? Because you're not going to use every sheet every time. You're going to cut it down and use a section of it. So I will show you how to use those today. I'm also going to show you how to use the Brayer technique on your embossing folders, along with what we can do with this thing here. The hybrid folders came out about, oh man, I'd say about 5 years ago. 4 years ago, I can't remember what the first one was. I know we had the seashell one. We've got the lemon currently. We've got citrus, and we've also got the tree rings. But I know we've had other things too. But this one, I think, is the absolute best. I mean, they truly did. They outdid themselves with this set. So I'm going to just kind of talk you through it. But since Valentine's is over, I'm past red. I mean, I am past red and sweet sorbet right now. I'm like, enough, and pink. So I'm going to go on ahead and I'm shifting over to green. So when I use this, even though it's hearts, I'm using it with green paper today, okay? So we're gonna start with one of the first things you can do, and that is just, you have this die by itself, you have 2 solid small hearts, you have 4 that are very intricate and detailed. You have a couple of detailed branches along with a couple of solid branches, this little three heart die it's going to work 2 ways. It's going to give you the teeny tiny hearts inside, but it's also going to give you a ring of 3 hearts all in one piece. Then you have this piece with 4 medium heart or 4 little hearts. And then I have used this sucker so many times, it's unreal. So many times. So it's worth its weight in gold just for that little banner. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started here. And if I mess this up along the way, I'm going to have to go and wash dies or something else. I'm going to have to wash folders or something. So I'm going to try to be fairly methodical. Then you also have, besides the hybrid, all the dies, you get the embossing folder. And it takes the combination of the folder and the dies to really see what you get with this set. You cannot purchase the embossing folder by itself. You cannot purchase the dies, I don't think, by themselves. Now, one time they had a hybrid folder and they allowed you to purchase it 2 different ways, but not this set, okay? And the hybrid folder allows you to put the die in, and it will fit in here in just such a way that it won't move, okay? I can't shift it around. I'm trying to move it. I can't move it. I moved it that time because I got off track. It just barely fits in there, and then you flop it over, and you can run and emboss and cut at the same time, okay? I'm not going to cut the first one. First time, I just used this. I used this all by itself. And Tina, if I didn't say hello, good morning, Tina. I just used this by itself. And I went in and I just cut it like so, just like every other die. And I got 9 white hearts, okay? I'm going to use this, and I used it for a card. I actually cut it off at about, 4 inches. If I go 4 inches, I could get both sets of hearts, and I had 6 hearts on the front of a piece of paper, on the front of a card, and I put a DSP behind it that was red and had little tiny white hearts. That was a whole different look to it, okay? All right, so let's go on ahead and bring this over. I'm going to bring my my die cutting machine. And this is going to be where it's going to be hard for you to see. I'm going to be in and out with my machine. So I'm going to just emboss. So all I want to do is take a 6x6 piece of paper like so. Hey, Candy. Nice to have you with us in Texas. And I'm going to lay this over like so. You never know what the top or the front of your embossing folder is. It's the one that says Stampin' Up within the middle. It also has it on the back, but it's usually just in writing. You want the one that has the actual logo, okay? I'm going to put it in my machine, and I'm going to start with this pad right here. That may be all I need. I'm not cutting anything, so I'm just embossing. So let's go on ahead and see if that will get it. In fact, I can't do it on here, guys. I got to go over. It's sliding too much for me. Okay, just a second. That one's not going to work. So then you try a different plate. You never know which plates are going to work. And I know I've heard a lot of people say they've had the hardest time trying to figure out their plates. Okay. And because it's a hybrid, I guess it doesn't use the thicker plate. Okay, so all I did was emboss the paper. And there it is. So you could also have done it and just use 6 of those and put those on the front of a card. So now we've got 2 different looks. We have the white hearts that had nothing else. We have this one, okay? So let's go on ahead now and let's use a brayer. And I'm gonna pray that I don't get it all over me. How many of you have used brayers before? We're getting ready to do a brayer class with our speed bingo, and sign up ends this Wednesday. If you've not used our new brayer, the new brayer has little feet on the back of it that point up. That keeps the brayer off your paper so it won't touch. But if you don't turn it over, you're gonna tear up your ink pad, okay? So you have to have the points up. And I'm just gonna go on in here. I loaded it up yesterday with ink. Let's see if we've got enough. I'm gonna ink it up. Got some splotches here. Okay, some people will turn it this way too. It works either way. I like it myself whiter. I'm gonna go on to this and I'm gonna use the side that I told you that had the label. Okay, this is the one that has the label. And all I'm gonna do is run my brayer over it. Okay, and what it does is it puts a layer of ink on top of those embossed images. Okay, let's put some more ink on there. Because my brayer has got a little bit of a bend in it, I've got some spots here where I have some ink and I really don't want that ink there. So I'm just gonna see if I can get in there and get it off. And I'll probably make it worse. But you'll have the idea of what I'm talking about without cleaning it. If your folder lays flat, which it will on the next one, you'll see what I'm talking about. This one has a bubble kind of from using it through the machine, okay? Let's see if I can go back over there and not press quite so hard so I don't get those smudge spots. All right, keeping the brayer up. I'm gonna take a piece of paper and I'm gonna layer the paper on this side as straight as I can. And I'm gonna very carefully bring this over and lay it down. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put this through the machine. Okay. Now keep in mind, I had ink smudges here. So probably when I come through here, you're probably gonna see ink smudges on here. Hey, not bad at all. Okay. So now I have taken it and I've got the embossed image, and now I went from having that flat surface. Where did my flat surface one go? To this one. So you can get all of those images in there and you get that background below. All right, so now we're gonna emboss it one more time. But first we're gonna use the brayer. And I'm gonna come back to my brayer. And I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna put those on here one more time. I'm gonna have it on me if I don't watch. Because I only want the hearts this time. I don't want that background. I'm not gonna worry about if I use or have smudges in the middle of the spots like I had last time. When I say that, I'm referring to these spots here. I wanna make sure my hearts are good. And because I'm also gonna put this on green paper. Shaded spruce on shaded spruce. I want to make sure I've got as dark of an image as I can. Yeah, it looks like I could use a little more. All right, let me go on ahead now and move this over for here so it's out of our way. If you get ink on the sides of your ink pad, you make sure that you get that off. You can rub it off. I always keep a cloth at my desk. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of these microfiber cloths. Just go to the Dollar Tree and buy $2 or $3 worth of them. If you need to, you can use some spray on there that will clean up your ink pad so that it doesn't get all over you like I have. Okay. All right. Now, we're going to take this and we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to add the die cut. So when I finish with this, I'll have to wash my die cut image too. All right. This time I have to put the paper over here because I don't want that die cut to move, and I will be back. Okay, so we ran it through. So we will see some of the little hearts here covered. So you've got those to make those pop. I'm going to take this off. I'd probably just be better off to do this. And there they are. Just like so. Aren't those cool? I'll hold this up better so you can see with the light. Can you see the images? So cool. Yes, I am driving to Texas with someone, Terry, and John is right. Pool Boy is our chauffeur. Pool Boy is taking me. Pam's taking Bill. Bill is driving too, so they'll be down there together. But there it is. I thought those are so cool. Now, let me get rid of this, and let me get rid of this, and put on to clean it. Just run some water over it. If you forget to run it over and you think maybe it's dried a little bit, go on ahead and spray it with some of your Stampin' Mist and then wash it. It'll all come out. But those turned out great. All right, so I'm going to use those here. And we're going to do one more thing before I get rid of the die. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so I need some hearts that are just blank. I need green hearts for what we're going to do next. So let's go on ahead and just take a piece of paper. I don't want 9 hearts. I really only need 3. So I'm just going to pull it down, and I'm only going to get the 3 here that I need, and then I still have a little scrap. And let me do that. And I'm back to my regular sandwich for my die cutting. I wish I was able to show you better the die cutting, but I just don't have the space for the height to get it so that you can see it. Okay. So I needed 3 hearts, so there they are. I got a little piece of scrap So just to kind of review what we did, we could also just cut it so that we have just hearts, plain hearts. That's what I had with the green. You could come back in here and you could make a pattern like I did with a sampler of like just putting in some different colors of green. Okay, but nothing else. There's no embossing, there's nothing on it. Then we added the embossing and we just put it onto the paper so it's here. It's all nice and flat, okay? Then we also did the one where we embossed it and we ran the brayer over the embossing so it makes that embossing pop. At the same time, had I done it, I could have gone on ahead and put that heart in there and it would have popped all of those out at one time, okay? That big heart piece. I could have put it on there and it would have embossed and it would have cut all at one time. But because I knew I needed to get those green ones and I didn't want to mess it up, I have this one and now I have all the green pieces that go in there and it cut it all out. Hey Lynn, how are you? All right, so we've got the embossing folder, hybrid embossing folder. We've talked about that. And just to give you a little more of what you can do with it, here is a sampler I posted. We use this at Stampin' Sip. You can see I ran my I put a 6x6 piece in of white. I ran it and cut all the hearts out. Then I turned around and we just ran a whole bunch of Flirty Flamingo and Real Red. And there's my white hearts that came from this background. It's got the embossing on it. I don't know if you can see it if I angle it. Yeah, you can see it then. You can see the little hearts pop. And then we're going to use these die cuts here to create that extra image on top of those hearts. But this is going to be with adhesive sheets. This is where the sheets come in. So if you've not played with the adhesive sheets, they really are not that hard, but there is a little learning curve to it, okay? There is a learning curve to it. I also, when I am done, like when I did those, I had Flirty Flamingo and Real Red, and I was thinking I had a Sweet Sorbet, but maybe I didn't have. Anyhow, I had those. I'm not throwing this out. These are like prime real estate because on the back of that Flirty Flamingo, I could use that for other things, little flowered images, things like that that are really intricate cut. Here's Real Red. Don't throw them out. If you can use them, put them back in your folder because, you know, it's nice to be able to go in and use them without having to redo all of the paper here. All right, so this is a section, and I'm only going to take what I absolutely need. So let's see here. Give me a second because I'm missing something I want. Yeah, no, I am not. Here it is. So I have a piece already of the seafoam green that I'm going to use. I don't use this color very often, and I really don't probably need this to be on adhesive sheets. So this is plenty for me to save on use. So I'm going to put that over to the side. So instead, I'm going to show you how to use it with Melon Mambo because that's a color I do like. So I'm going to go on ahead, and this is a piece that I had cut off of another sheet. And I'm just going to work with the smallest piece I have. Would you consider using these sheets at a tech class? Sure. We can do that, Jonna. There's a little bit of a learning curve to them, but they are nice to have. So yeah, we can do that. So Jonna got me these adhesive, they're silicone, is that right? Non-stick scissors. I still find that they stick a little bit, but it comes right off. I would not use your paper snips on this. If you do, you're going to have adhesive stuck to your paper snips and have to clean them. So I'm going with an old pair of scissors or this Teflon scissors. And she got these on Amazon. So I'm just going to hold my paper in here and just kind of cut it. You know, I think The first time I did it, I thought, oh, I got to do this whole sheet in that color. No, don't do that. But save all those. You never know when that's all you need. Okay. Now watch me not make a mistake here. So in the adhesive sheets, there are some papers that it's got paper on both sides. All right. So I'm going to have one side, and it's got a place where it is folded or scored so that you can pull on that. Every place you touch, it's going to pull adhesive off. And oh, I hope this works. Yeah, it is. So I'm going to pull it off like so. My finger touched here. I don't know that you can see it. Yeah, you can if you look carefully. There's a little splotch there where the glue is lifted up, and you can see there's no glue there. So you have to really be cautious about using that. I'm going to take it and lay it down. I have only one piece. Do not pull everything. And I'm just going to line this up as best I can. It's hard to see when you've got it on white. Okay. Like so. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go pull the next one. Pull one at a time, and that way it keeps it. Smooth it down, and then pull the last one. The first time I did it, I pulled everything off, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a sticky mess. The other thing is it goes off track a little bit as you go. Okay? That's how easy it is to use adhesive sheets. But you don't want to start with a big piece, and you don't want to pull it all off at one time. Pull one off, line it up, and then just keep pulling back. Now, I'm going to go on ahead and trim this up a little because it came off. And if I don't, I'll have adhesive on other places, like my Big Shot that I don't want it on, my Stampin' Up machine. Okay? All right. So everybody's with me? So that's what I did here. They are both the same. They both have the adhesive on the back. I'm not going to pull that adhesive yet. I'm going to run my dies. So I'm going to go on ahead and take... what am I going to take? What do you think? I really like that one. Can I do that one? I could. All right, I'm going to go on ahead and just run 3 of these. Any 3. 1, 2, 3. Put your cardstock on the top and run it so that the bottom is where the adhesive is, and I will be right back. Let me go die cut these. Let's run it a couple of times to make sure they are good and they come out. Okay, and I'm just going to poke through and get rid of all the little pieces. So I know, Patricia, who was it, said you had a Brayer, but I don't think you said you've used it. How many of you have used the adhesive sheets? I'm not going to, I mean, they're prime real estate. I'm not using these suckers for everything. But only on intricate ones it makes it difficult for you to maneuver and glue, okay? All right, so we go on ahead and we pop this out. And I lucked out because this has already got a spot where the adhesive sheet is up. I had my little glue things, which were laying on the table. I just didn't get them in here. My tweezers. I could hold it better. And there it is. It's on there. And you've used them? Do you use them with the full sheet, or do you cut them down to just the size that you need? Just for me, I just can't maneuver all that adhesive. It gets everywhere. So I'm going to pop these out. Like so. And again, I got to get this popped out of here. And I just kind of take my pointer and start working it. It worked out. The other one was easy because it came loose on its own as I was taking it apart. Okay. You cut them down too. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to use that huge big sheet. Okay, and one more. Right. I was going to ask you guys too, you know, we started off doing 9 o'clock, and then I was in a training group, and they met, and I could never tell for sure if I would be done by 9 or 9:30 or whatever. So instead, I moved us back to 10, and I kind of like the 10 o'clock. What do you think? Should we leave it at 10? I did not do the training session again this quarter. I don't plan to do it. So this is pretty intense for me. I'm retired. I don't want to work that hard. It was great. I will tell you, it was awesome. But I just didn't want to work that hard. All right. So what do you think? 10 o'clock Central Time work this time right here? Or do you like it better at 9 o'clock? What works best? I don't care. I'm up by 7 anyway, so. All right. Now, they're glued. How easy is that? 10 o'clock, Kathy said. I can do 10 o'clock. Everybody else, give me your opinions. Let me get rid of all this stuff, and we'll come back, and we're going to finish our card, and we'll be done. Okay, trash gone. If I'd have been stopped and got that, I would have had all of it. All right. Lynn says 10. I got 2 for 10. 2 for 10. Okay. So, to make my card, I used these hearts, and I just laid them together, like so, to give me a shamrock. We just don't have shamrocks in our stamp catalog. Last year, I think it was last year, or was it 2 years ago? I don't know, because I'm holding on to it. But flexibility is the fringe benefit of retirement. Yes, it is. See my question above, Jonna said. Well, I got to go back up. I like the 10 o'clock. Can you move it on? It's not that often. Oh, I know what you're saying. We have a group that Jonna has a group that we meet out of town about every other month or so. And we meet on Mondays because one lady is a teacher and she's able to be there on Mondays because they don't have school on Mondays. So on some days, I may have to move it to 9 o'clock so that we can still do the Mayberry Guild. Next week, I believe, is the Mayberry Guild. So, you know, next week it may get changed. So just be prepared. But I think I like this 10 o'clock session anyway. So I think we're going to leave it at 10 with the flexibility because I'm retired to do what I want and move it. All right, so let's move on. Let's get this card done. How did I make this card and how did I do this background? Isn't this beautiful? That is an embossing folder, just an embossing folder that I added ink to. Now, this one here is specifically is the, I think it was the distressed tile. You know, we have that distressed tin worn type, and we have one that's like a distressed brick. And this one, I believe, is a distressed distressed tile. But I think it was from the holiday catalog. I'm not sure, but I'm telling you, it's not leaving my site either, okay? So let me go on ahead and get the brayer back. And this is the folder I'm using. How many of you have it? It's a great one, but it has little splotches in it that makes it look like it's not, how do I want to say it? Makes it look like it's not solid, okay? You have that folder? This folder is a great one for Brayer, okay? This is a great one for Brayer. All right, so I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to use my Brayer. We have another hybrid folder, and I know John is using it for the Brayer class. Pam was talking about doing something different with maybe sunrise and stuff. And I'm going to be inking up and showing you how easy it is to make beautiful butterflies. All right, so let's go on ahead and let's ink it. I'm going to use the side that's got that label on it. That's the one that's going to be the one that's got the most ink on it, just like so. Okay, we got a spot or two that's not got any ink, so let's go back and re-ink. And if you really have a light color, like we did Pool Party, and it was pretty light, then they actually went over it several times, okay? All right, turn it over. And I have taken a decal die, this size, out of seafoam, soft seafoam. I'm gonna lay it here. I'm gonna carefully bring this over. I'm gonna lay it down without letting it jump up in the air, and I'll be right back. Okay, here it is. Raise this up. And how beautiful is that? Makes that whole embossing folder look completely different. And if you ran it on the back side, it would be the mirror image. So it'd be like the negative of it. Let me go on ahead and get rid of this Brayer and this folder, and then I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's finish the card. So we're going to start with a regular card that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 in the middle. Okay. And then I have a mat. Hey guys, I just knocked a die down, so I want to go get it before I lose it. Let's see if I can find it. I see it. I know where it's at. So let's go ahead and take this. Actually, let's put this one on first. When you are running your tape over the back of a piece that is embossed, run it slower, because if you don't, it will lift and it's apt to tear in places. So you want to be very careful that you don't run fast. And because I'm pretty close to the end, pretty far. Let's get back over here and get these corners in here a little better. All right. And my fingers are covered in adhesive. There's something about the adhesive with embossing folders. It tears a lot easier and gets on your fingers a lot easier. I feel like I'm back in glue art class with glue all over me, just like a little kid. All right, now let's go on ahead and use some embossing or some these, you know what I'm talking about, dimensionals. 104430 in the catalog. If you have never measured that or memorized that, you need to. I think they're the cheapest thing in the catalog. So whenever you're trying to hit a certain amount, always add a packet. They prefer glue on embossed paper because it squeezes between the holes. I switched to mainly glue and I can attest that it's true. It also holds better. I do too, Lynn. I have a bowl. I have a magnetic bowl on my table. But right now I have them on a magnetic sheet and it had popped up just enough. And when I hit it, it went sliding off. But normally I do have two. That emboss, I have a magnetic bowl. You can get them on Amazon. And they're great to have. All right. There's that. Okay, so now, then I also took the Nested Essentials because I needed something in the back, something that was going to anchor that down a little more. So I just ran, with the Nested Essentials, I just ran the die cuts here. I think I have 3 sets of Nested Essentials because when I use it for a class, it's so much faster to run when you can run multiples. All right, I'm gonna put it here, and then I need to lift it and see if that's actually not too bad. I'm gonna go over just a hair. I can live with that. All right, so on this card, I use these right here. That was the part that I used to build my shamrock. I think I'm going to change it off this time. I think I'm going to go on ahead and use these. Like so. And I will just make it a solid green shamrock, but you can see from a distance, if I pull it up, you can see the embossed print is more distinctive, okay? All right, so to do this, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to put 2 dimensionals on the top of the shamrock top. And then I'm going to take a glue dot. I'm just about done with my glue dot, so I'm hoping I got enough to get me through. And I'm going to put a glue dot here. The reasoning why I want this to be, oh, I know why I did it. Let's pop this off. Let's put it on dimensionals. That'll make it pop better. So we are going to go on dimensionals after all, after I put the glue on it. It's just paper, guys. It'll work. Pull it off. Start again. I put some here, and I put some here. It won't fall down. Or press down and stick in the middle. So the adorning hearts is on back order, and it's on back order for quite a while. But you just keep an eye on it as soon as it comes in. I've already gotten, I think I have 5 or 6 people that are wanting it. And I just keep checking. Okay, now this will make more sense because this is popped up. The top of my shamrock is going to be off and I have to pop it up too, like so. So it lays flat. Otherwise it would be wonky. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to put these on. And because of how high I went with that, I'm going to only have to use glue dots on those. So let me see what I got here. 1 and 2. And I'm going to curve it so that the points meet in the middle. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing for this one. And there is a roll of glue dots now gone. I'm going to curve it here, like so. And there's my shamrock. Yeah, it's a ways out. I knew that it was a ways out. Okay. But that also tells us that it's probably going to be in the new annual catalog. All right, so now I'm going to cut myself a little bit of a stem. Just hand cut it, nothing fancy. Okay, and I'm going to slide it in there like so. I'm going to have to use my adhesive anyway because my glue dots are gone. I'm just going to slide it in there. I don't even care really if it matters and makes it perfect because I'm going to have a banner that goes across it. All right, so it's hard to find what stamp sets could be used for St. Pat's Day when you don't have a St. Pat's stamp set in the catalog. Some of them will have good luck on them. This one was from Sending Smiles, okay? And I have just gone in and I have cut it. It actually should say, all the good luck your way. I am really bad. I don't have a problem cutting my stamp sets apart. Okay, so all I want is good luck your way. And I curved it because it's actually straight. It's not going to be perfect, but it will work. All right? And if I can't get it to work, I have one that will work. So I'm just going to lay it in here. Works pretty good to me, don't you think? And I'll show you how to curve those real fast and we'll be done. So I'm just going to slide that across there. I'm going to go on ahead and put it on some dimensionals. So let me cut myself a little strip. Like so. And like so. Curve it. I'm going to pop those out. And if you'll stick around for just a minute longer, I will show you how to curve those so they work better. I'm going to flop that around, and that goes right across where those are joined together in case they did not get completely there. And I'm going to go on ahead and use, these are the Tinsel Gems 4-pack. Someone was really creative when they named these because we have Tinsel Gem 4-pack and then another one is the Tinsel Gem 3-pack with 3 other different colors. So confusing. All right, And there's my card, guys. So I have two different cards, the same card. I have the one with the die cuts and the intricate die cuts that are adhered with the adhesive sheets. And on this one, I have the actual embossed area has got the ink on it so that it pops in. I think they're both really pretty. I don't know which one or which you prefer. One or two, I don't know. But I like them both. Let me show you very fast how to curve these. So it only works if you have this kind of a photopolymer stamps, all right? And it stamps across as an even piece, all right? But I want it to curve. So I'm just gonna kind of take it on here because it sticks. You can just kind of form it how you want it to curve it. It's not the best, but here's what I'm talking about. Actually, that's not bad at all. So your photopolymers will actually bend and curve. So use those in different ways. You're not limited to only using them flat or straight. Use them and bend them around. All right, so somebody's got something up here. Jonna says, it's all a matter of preference. I used to detest glue. Too much used as a teacher. Now you love it on your cards. A lot of people do. So, yeah, it's all personal preference. Okay? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We learned how to use adhesive sheets. We used the Adoring Hearts embossing folder. We've learned how to curve photopolymers. So you guys, we got several teaching things in here, okay? So what do you think? Card 1, card 2. I have to remember to point them that way. Do you like this one better or do you like this one better? I like them both. And in fact, one of our friends has had a knee replacement, and I think this would be, she's actually born. Is she born on St. Pat's Day or is she like the 16th? I never remember. She's either born on St. Pat's Day or she's the 16th. But the funny thing is that her last name was Carol. I mean, they are as Irish as could be. So Chris said she likes number 2 better. Either one works. Hey, Vicki, nice to have you here with us too. March 16, Lauren is on the 17th. Got it. All right. So anyhow, take care. God bless. Have a great day and go out and play with some hearts that are green. All right. Bye-bye, guys.